Daytona for yet another round of practice for the Monster Cup NASCAR Series. 21 of the 40 starters in the Daytona 500 participated in the earlier practice 1 hour ago, including Joey Logano. Likely we'll see the rest of the field out for a few laps at least in Daytona 500 practice presented by Toyota on FS1. Beautiful day to put cars on track as Ty Dillon rolls out in his new ride. We're up to 76 degrees, track temp holding at 108. Still a few high clouds, but a lot of sunshine on this racetrack. Now we will have one final round of practice for these cars tomorrow, one day before the 500. Most of the teams have changed engines already. Some will change tonight. What are we looking for in this practice?
Details, little things. We saw Denny Hamlin working on his mirror. You see people adjusting their steering columns, getting their pedals right. That's Jeff and I were talking about this. You don't want any distractions. When that race starts Sunday, you don't want that driver complaining about anything inside that car. Seat, steering wheel, mirrors. I don't want to hear any of that. Let's get it done today. Let's get it done in the morning, and we are going to settle in and do it and try to win this race.
Are there teams that are still searching for speed, or are we pretty much now in you've got what you've got mode, make the most of it?
Well, I think about half the field, yeah, they're always searching for more speed. I think if you look at the front half, I think there's just fine-tuning, like DW said. Now it comes down to what are these conditions compared to what we're going to have in the race. If these are the truest conditions, let's get out there. Let's get into a draft. Let's make some adjustments handling-wise, because I think to be aggressive and make some big moves on Sunday, you're going to have a car that you're confident with.
And we've seen already this week, it's going to take big moves to win here at Daytona. Ryan Newman ran the most laps in practice one, along with Daytona 500 pole sitter Chase Elliott, each at 28. Casey Kane, Jimmy Johnson, 27 apiece. Down to the garage area, Jamie Little.
Well, Brad Keselowski's proven to have great speed, but you mentioned distractions. He had one of those in first practice today when his left rear brake rotor exploded. And I just talked to his crew chief, Paul Wolfe. He said, yes, we were trying some things, trying to make them lighter, but we've made some changes for this practice moving forward, something that they know is proven and will hold up in practice. That was, of course, coming onto pit road when he was applying the brakes. So right now they want to go out, try some different things they didn't have a chance to do in that first practice, and tomorrow they'll put that race engine in and go out for some laps. So still working through the checklist for the 2 team.
Well, Jamie, that's a great place to experiment, because if you can't add more horsepower, given the tightness of the rules package, what you can do to maximize the horsepower you have is reduce, especially rotating mass. That's the #1 thing. So making those rear axle brake parts smaller or lighter would free up more horsepower to make the car go faster.
Well, and we just talked about who's looking for speed. Well, you know what? Even the best teams out there are still searching and trying things. And you're right, this is a great time to test them. Boy, they science everything out, DW. We talk about that. They didn't science that one out too well.
No, and I'm always skeptical of new parts. Something I haven't raced before. That, somebody says, oh, this is going to be worth this much and that much. I want a basic, solid race car for this race on Sunday. I don't want to have to worry about, hey, don't get on the brakes too hard. We got a little problem back there. I just don't want those kind of distractions come Sunday. I want to be able to do my job, drive the car, run a normal race, and not have anything go wrong.
I'd be interested to know sort of where they were going with that. Did they feel like, yeah, this is a little bit less brake capabilities, but yet it's going to be a little bit lighter rotating mass? Or did they think, no, braking should be the same, yeah, a little bit lighter, it's new materials, things like that? Because braking is extremely important here. I know we don't talk a lot about that, but getting off of turn 4 onto pit road, we saw a lot of cars practicing the entry to pit road in that last practice, probably see a little bit more. Getting that car slowed down the shortest amount of distance and not overheating the brakes, I think is very important.
And Mike, the cars are so equal. You're always searching for a little wee bit of an advantage. It just doesn't take very much to make a huge difference out on the racetrack.
Well, then let me ask you this. I know when I'm out on the highway, and let's say I'm coming up to a construction zone and you're in a close pack of traffic, you want to get close to the car in front of you because you don't want to let anybody get in. Okay, it's kind of a version of
you're that driver.
Yeah,
okay.
at 50 miles an hour.
You're not getting in front of me.
But I'm kind of dragging the brake. I'm kind of riding the brake a little bit, knowing that I want to have a little pressure on it in case I've got to slow down suddenly. Are you riding the brake at all out there at speed?
Well, I mean, you'll hear the guys talk about drag the brake, but here's the deal on the brakes. You're running, everything is cold. You get ready to come down pit road, just say you're going to make your pit stop. You slam on the brakes, you build instant heat in every part of that braking system. Those rotors go glowing red. They were ice cold, they go glowing red. Can they handle that kind of punishment? That's the question.
And when you're going from 195 miles per hour down to 55, there's a tremendous amount of braking force in these cars at that level.
And let me tell you, on I-77 north of Charlotte these days, everybody is that guy.
Last time I was on 77, I never got up fast enough to let anybody get in front of me.
What are you going to do, Larry Mack? We used to complain about Brawley School Road. They fixed it 4-lane that. Now we've got I-77 to pick up.
We just keep moving the traffic jam.
That's right.
We moved it from Brawley to 77. Eventually, we'll move it to somewhere else.
It was 485 at the other end of town, but one thing about Charlotte, there's always a traffic situation somewhere.
There's a traffic situation happening, led by Dale Earnhardt Jr. making a couple moves, one around Ty Dillon, now around Paul Menard. How Paul Menard did not spin out when he made contact, or when Kyle Busch made contact with him in the left rear last night in the duel, I'll never know. That was amazing.
Yeah, that was a great save. So Joey Logano paces the early minutes of the second round of Friday practice in Daytona.